Yeah, so I'm really happy to, introduce Paromita to the group, to have her to speak about Montessori, because uh, I have gone and seen the school. I have visited the school and I have seen her, how she teaches when she teaches children. And that, I think one thing that truly separates a regular teacher from someone who is a great teacher is the passion behind it. And Paromita's eyes just, they just light up at the when she talks about Montessori. She can't stop. She will just go on one breath, and I have literally seen that, her speaking about Montessori. So when I thought that, we should have one session, because we started with homeschooling and we will do one whole round of different kinds of modalities that we have for education in the early childhood. So Paromita's name popped up in my mind. She's a certified Montessori educator. She has her own school. I had briefly shared her, introduction in the group, and I would say that these sessions like these, they are extremely rare, because the time is really precious, and that precious resource is being shared with us all by an expert. We should make the most of it. We should ask questions, and I truly hope that it leaves all the participants with a little more awareness, little more understanding of the way they're deciding the course of life for their children. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you for joining in, and over to you, Paromita.
Hi everyone, thank you Deblina for introducing me. So I would love to see everyone because it feels very awkward to talk to a screen, which I usually don't like. I'll be using a mix of Hindi and English for everyone. So it will be great if everybody can write in the chat what you do, how old is your child, and even if you don't have a child, it's okay. Just write that so that I know in which direction I need to take the session. So just take 1 minute to write down so that I can read and understand the group a little better. Yeah. Thank you, Revati. Thank you, Vani. Thank you, Deblina. I'll just wait for the next 30 seconds and then I'll get started. Great. Thank you, Sindhu. Great. That's Subhashini. Thank you so much for writing down. And I'm going to get started. You can pop in your introduction and the child's age, or even if you're an educator, just write that down. It helps me. So I will be just sharing the screen. Evelina, you can see my screen, correct?
Not yet. It's loading. Is it loading? Yeah. I can see now. Yes. You are on the mute, Parmita. Paromita, can you hear me? You are on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah. So where did you miss so that I can start again?
nothing really. Couldn't hear anything that you said.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was just somebody muted me also. Okay. So I'm Paromita. So I'll introduce myself a little bit. Uh, I hope.
Your screen is not visible now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
now it is visible.
Is
Okay.
is
Yeah.
it visible? Okay.
Yeah. It's
So
coming. Yeah.
yes, perfect. So we are going to see the child from a different lens today, from a Montessori philosophy perspective. But before that, I would love to talk about myself a little bit. So I was an economist working in a corporate zone, and then I jumped into feeling like doing something for the society, you know. So I joined Teach for India as a fellow, and really serve the underprivileged. And I feel every child has a right to the education system actually. And then I entered into Akanksha Foundation where we work with government schools, partner with them, and really make a difference in those schools. After which I really thought how technology can really help these children. And that's when I worked with Apple Foundation, where technology was beautifully integrated into education. You know, when people say technology can hamper everything, but I feel what Apple is trying to do is beautiful and magical. You know, it's not only about apps, it's about how children bring about collaboration, communication, creativity through technology. So yeah, that's another story altogether. I got very inspired by how Apple is trying to do it. And when I gave birth to my child, I was looking for what kind of school I want to send my own child, you know. और मुझे सच में बताओ पुणे में मुझे कुछ भी नहीं दिखा, बहुत कम एक दो ऑप्शंस दिखा. And then I started traveling to Bangalore, to Mumbai, to Italy myself to understand what kind of education system is existing in the world. And then I went to Casa di Bambini, which is started by Maria Montessori, which I will talk even more about. I got so inspired that that day I realized that this is the kind of school I want my child to go ever. And I thought if it's not there, I'll start something of my own. Pune has 3 to 4 good Montessori schools, but again, getting admission through that is not that easy, you know. So I thought let's do something for the society by starting a school, not only for the children but for the parents to really understand what's Montessori. Even if the children doesn't come to our school, it's absolutely fine. But if they're educating themselves of what they don't know, also learning from us and taking it back home, we're absolutely fine, you know. So that's the concept of the school, the Journey Montessori is a learning center, and it's also called a house of children. So the school is also in a house. The children feel that this is my house, second house. They knock the door and they enter the school, you know. That's the kind of environment we always want to provide our children. Uh, so today we are going to cover something about understanding Montessori philosophy, what a child needs in the age 0 to 6, Montessori philosophy in the early years, how can we implement this at home. I think सबसे important सबको लगता है कि कैसे करेंगे घर पे. So I thought let's discuss something about this. Uh, one word which comes to your mind when you hear the word Montessori. If you can all type on the chat or unmute yourself and talk to me, I think that will be the best thing to do. So unmute yourself and discuss with me that what is the first word which comes to your mind when I talk about the word Montessori. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to see all of you and see what you have to share.
Absorbent mind.
Absorbent mind. Thank you. Others, जब Montessori सुनते हैं तो कौन सा word दिमाग में आता है या phrase दिमाग में आता है?
So people have typed in, someone, Mehek said child-led, Vani said independent child.
Child-led, independent child. Anybody wants to unmute? Vani, what do you mean by independent child? थोड़ा सा आप describe करोगे?
What I mean is that the Montessori philosophy is such that everything, you should enable the environment in such a way that the child is able to independently do a lot of things.
Got it. So you really talked about environment, which we are going to deep dive into. Thank you so much, Vani, for saying. Mehek, when you say child-led, what do you mean? क्या मतलब है इसका?
I mean, following the child's curiosity, what the child is actually interested in, rather than teaching the child what we are interested in.
Are you a Montessorian, Mehek?
No, not at all. Yeah.
Okay. But I think both of you are bang on two important things which we follow in Montessori. If I am spelling this correct, Panuthai, is that correct? Child is very active. how do you define activeness?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, yes. आप activeness कैसे describe करते हो? Yeah.
Montessori's child is very active and playing in anything and things in different types.
Okay, got it. Uh, so people who have joined in, we are just discussing when you hear the word Montessori, what is the first word which comes to your mind? Anybody would like to unmute and talk to me? I'm more than happy. It's important for me to know where to start from. Yeah. So anybody else would like to share?
This is child is very not controllable.
Okay.
Montessori joining, the child is not controllable. Is thinking in very different ways.
Thinking in different ways. I'm just putting down words for myself so that I can really work on that. Thank you so much for sharing. I am going to go back and discuss some more things about
Paromita, you need to unmute yourself.
I'm also getting. Thank you so much for unmuting myself.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So you can see my screen now. You can see my
Yes.
screen. Okay, perfect. So these are some of the common questions which comes to me when parents come to school. You know, how do we know it's a Montessori school? Is Montessori only about independence? Is Montessori only for early years? Which exam my child will take if they go to a Montessori school? Will my child be lagging behind in academics if we don't teach English and maths in early years? If we give so much freedom to a child, will it not be destructive in nature? You know, ये कुछ questions हमारे पास हमेशा आता है. So I would love to know what are your questions when it comes to a Montessori concept. Any question which comes to your mind, which you always had, कि ये पूछना है मुझे पर पता नहीं किससे पूछना है. So now is the time. Put down all your questions so that I make sure I help you to understand those questions in a structured way, so that when you leave this session, you understand कि ये होता है. At least 10% समझ के जाओ, and then you go to a Montessori school, you'll get to know even more. So I'll wait for people to put it in the chat. आपके दिमाग में क्या questions है about Montessori? So yeah. Would like to answer to all these questions. Okay, I will definitely answer this question. All questions actually, I will be answering all of them. But anything else which is missing here and you have it, you know, एक burning question है, ये तो पूछना है मुझे आज. So anything like that, please feel free to put it down, or just unmute and ask me question. Raise your hand and ask me. That'll be great because this session should be useful for you all. You know, this is for you all, not for me. You know, yes,
I have
go
a
ahead.
question.
Yeah.
Actually, my son is at an age where I am looking for preschool. Either you beta, where I am looking for preschools for him, and I actually visited 4-5 schools in the last 3-4 months, and 2 of them were like proper Montessori. But one thing that I observed in both the Montessori schools was that, especially for his age group, 3 to 6, there was no outdoor playtime. So that was one thing that was putting me off from putting him in that in those in a completely Montessori school, because I thought like at this age free play or like no outdoor play should be important. But in both the schools it was only those they were for those 3 hours they would be in the school, they would be indoors doing the activities or the materials, I think it's called, right? The materials, the Montessori materials, they would be engaging with that, but no outdoor play. So that is one thing that I found very confusing, that because I was not expecting that.
Great. Thank you, Vani, for this question. Excellent question, actually. Every philosophy has its pros and cons, you know. And I'll be putting some light on those also. What you should be looking for also. So thank you, Vani, for this question. Or quick question hai. It is very interesting for parents to even ask these questions. That means you're aware about what is required in the early years. Please put in the chat if you have any more questions. I'll get started even talking about the concept. Okay, so Maria Montessori always talked about, I'm going to read this quote, it's beautiful. Dr. Montessori saw the child as enormously capable, curious, and able to take responsibility for themselves, others, and the environment. And this is what it makes Montessori Montessori. I'll talk more about it. So Maria Montessori, just to tell you, she was not an educator initially. She was born in Italy. Her first school was in Italy, but she was a doctor. She was a medical doctor. She worked with the orthopedic center and clinic where she understood that which child needs what kind of help. And through her study and observation, she came to this Montessori philosophy. So उनका कोई था नहीं कि मुझे कोई स्कूल चालू करना है, मुझे बच्चों का ऐसे काम करना है. That was not her intention. But it happened over the period of time. She understood how the brain works. If these methods can really help a child and bring about a change, then why not? And that's how the Montessori methods came by. Yeah. So I'm going to show you two pictures, and many people said that you've visited a Montessori school. What do you see in both the pictures? What do you see in both the pictures? You can put it in the chat. Picture 1, picture 2. So take 2 minutes to observe the picture. There is nothing right or wrong in any of this picture. But it's important for you to realize that what I'm trying to bring into account today. So I would love for you to share it in the chat. Deepina, you can help me read the chat also.
Sorry, didn't get you.
You can also, if people are typing, just let me know what they're typing so that I can begin.
Yeah, I'll do that. So Mehak says picture 1, learning through play. Picture 2, traditional setup. Asus, I think that's the name of the phone, but anyway, so she or he is saying first picture child driven, second teacher is driving.
Okay. So in these two pictures, as Vani was also talking about, that materials are very important. Yeah, environment is very important in a Montessori environment. So just bringing out few things from here. You see no blackboards in the classroom. You see materials at children's height. You see different children will be working on different things. So they have a lot of freedom and choice in this environment given. It is age appropriate. Whatever is appropriate for the child, they'll only choose those. If they're choosing something which is more difficult than their age, you'll see next time they'll go and keep it. They'll not touch it again. It's all hands-on. They're not passive listener. They're listening, they're doing and learning through hands and senses. And the adult is around everyone. Wherever the child needs help, the adult feels that the child needs help, she will generally go and nudge the child a little bit. Yeah, maybe not help completely. So these are some of the things you observe here. This is the second picture. What do you observe in this picture? What are the children doing in this picture?
For the last one, Revati said first picture child is completely focused. Second, not every child would be focused. Also, Revati has asked a question. One of the Montessori schools I inquired did have a lot of materials which are authentic Montessori, but some of them were still wrapped in plastic packaging. I understand that materials are made specifically with materials like wood for sensory stimulation. Is this questionable? So this is for you to note down, like for later when you are answering the questions.
Sure. So now see this picture and put it in the chat. What do you see the child doing in the environment? I just put some snippets of things.
So someone says experimenting.
Okay, experimenting,
I said real life work.
real life work,
Revati says interactive. Mehek says play. Vani says everyday activities.
everyday activities. Thank you so much. So I think I take all of this. So Montessori philosophy boils down to these three important things: care for self, care for others, care about world. These are three main things in a Montessori philosophy, which even Maria Montessori really spoke about. So everything we do in the early years move around these three areas. Yeah. Care about self really makes a child independent and responsible. Care about others says that I can contribute and my actions really matter. And care about the world really works on the empathy factor. So these are three major areas which Maria Montessori worked with. And as person running a Montessori philosophy school, we also work with this three major area. In most of the traditional school, as somebody pointed out, that it comes from the adult to the child. जो लेसन प्लान बनाया है वही पढ़ाना है, वो बच्चे को समझ में आए नहीं आए डजंट मैटर, इतना मुझे कवर करना है. Correct? That is how the traditional education system works. If you see a Montessori education system, there's a triangular pyramid which is made, where there's a child, there's an adult, and there's an environment. All these three factors will play a very crucial role in a Montessori education system. Yeah, and I'll talk more about it as we go further. Any questions so far? If no, I'll go ahead and answer all your questions as I go ahead. Deblina, just see this chat if anybody has any questions so far.
Just the one that I shared, what Revati had asked, nothing else.
Okay, perfect. So what this child 0 to 6 child really need, इसमें भी division है actually 0 to 3 and 3 to 6. Every 6 months the development goes so fast कि आपको पता चल जाएगा developmental needs are changing very fast. So even in a school we have two environments even in 0 to 6. So we have something which is 1.5 to 3 years, which is the infant community or the toddler community, and from 3 to 6 years we have the primary community. Yeah. And both this age group, उसके पहले आता है Nido, which we don't work on in our school, but there's a Nido group also. There are very few schools in India or Pune which works with the Nido group. But 0 to 6, Maria Montessori really spoke about the absorbent mind. As Deblina said that this is a book also, beautiful book written by Maria Montessori. It's like a camera. जैसे दिखता है ना वो वैसे ही absorb करते हैं like a sponge. And that's so important. इसलिए this is the age we really need to take care of कि हम as an adult हम कैसे करते हैं काम. So I feel that 0 to 6 years बच्चों के साथ तो जो काम है वो करो, but I think a lot of work has happened with me as a parent also. And that's why we need to be very careful and very cognizant of the fact हम बच्चों का क्या कर रहे इस age में. So this is what is the actual need of 0 to 6 years. So from the birth till 6 years, the sensory refinement starts off. Even when the child is born, the language refinement starts from birth to 6. Movement starts. So if in our environment, you will see there's a lot of movement, lots and lots of movement, because the child needs that movement. If you tell a 2-year-old child ki jharu leke jharu lagao, they'll immediately go and grab और झाड़ू लगाना शुरू कर देंगे. But if you tell a 5-year-old child or a 6-year-old child or a 7-year-old child कि बेटा झाड़ू लगा दे, they will be hesitant in doing that, because at this age 0 to 6 they're building themselves. They want to do everything what an adult does in the home. Okay, झाड़ू, खाना, पानी देना, खाना बनाना, कपड़े सुखाना, कपड़े धोना, बर्तन धोना, they love doing it. 10 times you tell them to go and get something, they'll do it. But a 7-year-old child or an 8-year-old child, that is not the age where they'll love a lot of movements to do all of these stuff. Initial years, आप देखोगे बच्चे बहुत जूता लेके खेलते हैं. But as a child grows, they start playing with shoes also or झाड़ू also. There's a reason for it. So that's the reason why movement is so essential from birth till 3 and even beyond till 6. They love small objects. Order is extremely important. I'll share a small story of Maria Montessori from the Absorbent Mind. And even I have observed in my own school, कि बच्चा आया बहुत रो रहा है बहुत रो रहा है बहुत रो रहा है and we couldn't understand that क्यों रो रहा है वो and the child is telling us something कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है but we couldn't understand because the child was not able to talk. After a few minutes, Maria Montessori just stood up and kept the umbrella in the right place and the child stopped crying in 30 seconds. A child of 0 to 6 loves order. आपने देखा होगा घर पे बहुत सारे खिलौने होते हैं, they are all dumped in one another. बहुत कॉमन है एक्चुअली घर इंडियन घर में. एंड बोलते हैं कि बच्चा खेलता ही नहीं है, बच्चा तो कैसे भी रखता है, बच्चा तो सही से रखता ही नहीं है चीजें. एंड व्हेन आई रिफ्लेक्ट बैक, वी कीप ब्लेमिंग द चाइल्ड कि बच्चा नहीं करता है, बच्चा ये नहीं करता है, बट एक्चुअली फॉर अ चाइल्ड ऑफ 0 to 3 द ऑर्डर इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. कहाँ पे क्या सामान है, इज इट कंप्लीट और नॉट, इट मैटर्स टू द चाइल्ड. इज इट केप्ट इन द राइट प्लेस as it was kept yesterday? So Maria Montessori always said everything has a place and everything needs to be kept at its place. The next is toileting. It starts from 1 to 3 years. Very important. We work on toileting a lot in our early years. Grace and courtesy comes from 3 years. Writing, reading, maths after that. Another thing which is very important is logical mind. हम बहुत 2 साल के बच्चों को लॉजिक देने का ट्राई करते हैं. बेटा उसको मारो मत क्योंकि ऐसा हो जाएगा, बेटा उसके शेयर करो बिकॉज अच्छा है शेयर करना. They don't understand. They really don't understand. The children of this age are very egocentric. ये मेरा है. I don't want to share because their logical brain has not yet developed. It starts developing 4 years onwards. So logic dena, it's no use. So this is actually the need of this years. And if you really understand those as a parent, as an educator, I think our life becomes so easy. So a 2-year-old child अगर share नहीं कर रहा है, we say, I see that you don't want to share. That's okay. Play with it. That's it. Please beta, share कर लो. Sharing is good. They don't understand all of these stuff. This looks like realistic world, but these children actually don't understand these things. Yeah. So I'm going to pause here. Any questions so far you want to ask me? I'm going to also stop sharing so I can see people and respond to you all.
When you say toileting, work on toileting, what? But I understand that that phase is really important, and that has a lot to do with the feeling of shame and self concept, or some kind of approval from the self. Is it something in that light, or is it something different?
So it's all around independence. When a child can say that मुझे सुसु आ गई है, I want to use the toilet, shows that they're understanding their body. And when they go and open their own pants and pee in the toilet, shows that they're becoming independent. They can take care of themselves. So taking care of themselves is the most important thing between 0 to 3 years. So we work on, can you eat by yourself? Can you set up the table by yourself? Can you make your own food? Can you go to the toilet yourself? Can you tell us that I want to go to the toilet? Can you tell us that I'm hungry? Very simple things. People don't understand that, but what I've realized that when we tell parents nowadays, 1.5 to 3 years old, ki we do a lot of toilet training, they're shocked. हमें diaper में नहीं भेजना है school में. I said, no, why will you send them in diaper? They are ready to be without diapers, like we'll work on it. They are like so happy, like they feel that, oh wow, I don't have to work on toileting at all. But this is the need of the child, So the more we work on these stuff, the child feels that I am capable of doing things by myself.
But how do you exactly work? How do you exactly work? So
we have a few things which we tell the parents also, start using the padded underpants, note down the timings when they are going, after 30 minutes, after 45 minutes, and we do the same in school. We track it. There's no shame attached to toilet or potty. That's very important. We train our nannies to do that really beautifully. We play around in the washroom. This is this. This is this. We make stories around it. When we teach them how to open your own pants, and we give them time for toileting. We don't hurry. कि जल्दी करो, उठो, चलो, कोई और भूखा है. We don't do this. It's a process of 20 minutes. When they go to the washroom, they pee or they poop, come back, wash their hands, come back and work. It's a process. And we really make them enjoy the process. We read a lot of books around it so that they, oh, this is how you do it. Oh, this is what I'll get. So that's how they really do it. That's how we do it also.
Storytelling, basically. Storytelling is a huge aspect of the early
Absolutely.
childhood.
Any other questions so far?
Maybe we'll pick up people for asking questions. They're feeling shy.
I really can't hear you, Rishikesh.
I was asking, saying that maybe you will pick up request, take the names and then share.
It's still very scratchy, Rishikesh. Something is off. I'm not sure what is it, but this does not happen.
You can put it in the chat. I will try to answer.
Maybe you can just type in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. So we have spoken about the needs of this age group. Now let's jump into a little more about how do we do it, as Devrina was really trying to probe on that question. Karte kaise ho? Yeah. So this is a beautiful drawing from the book also, and I want to talk to you about it. So we really don't try to mold the child based on what is our expectation. जैसे हम plant grow करते हैं, हर plant का needs अलग है. And we try to help the child the way they are, because we feel that every child is unique. And this is how Montessori actually defined in all the books, that every child is unique. Every child को nurture करने का जो path है ना is different. And we really need to keep it sacred for that child. We don't have to mold them in a caste. कि इस बच्चे को ऐसे ही बनाना है. Not necessary. So that is very, very important when we really work with our children. So when parents come for parents-teacher meeting, our kattas we say, parents katta, they keep asking, वो बच्चे को तो ये आता है, मेरे बच्चे को क्यों नहीं आता? Very common question, क्या मेरा बच्चा इतना लिख लेगा क्या 4 साल में? Very common questions. And we always give this example. Your child is unique. The way a pumpkin will grow and a sunflower will grow is very different. The amount of light and water these two plants will require is very different. So we have to really work with the child the way they are, not like comparison karna. So beautifully she has defined this in her book in terms of 4 planes of development also. This is called 4 planes of development: 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18, and 18 to 24. Many people have this perspective that Montessori early childhood ke liye hi hai, but that's not the correct thing. It goes up till 24 years. In Pune, we have only one school which is going up till 18 right now, but I hope there are more schools which uses Montessori philosophies till the age of 18. But सबसे ज़्यादा famous है 0 to 6 years, which is like the highest sensitive period for the child. Highest growth होता है. Then 6 to 12 is the childhood. The growth stagnates little bit. 12 to 18 again a high growth, and then 18 to 24 again it stagnates little bit. That's how she defines. I can keep on talking about this diagram, but I will just show this and then I'll move. If somebody wants to know more about this, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to talk about it. So let's go into this part, which is very important to understand, because today you have come to understand about hum kya kar sakte as parents. If you're going to a Montessori school, how do you know it's a true Montessori school? So these are 3 major things which you have to look when you go to a Montessori school. The environment, obviously people said materials hote hai. That is called the second teacher in the classroom actually. Child, it's a mixed age group. So child of 0 to 6 months will stay together, 6 months to 1.5 will stay together, 1.5 to 3 will stay together, 3 to 6 will stay together. That's how it's arranged. It's a mixed age group because Maria Montessori felt that we learn better with each other by observation also. And the third thing is adult. Is the adult Montessori trained? Because we as adults, we have 5,000 presentations in our head. because बच्चा कभी भी बोल सकता है, auntie, why don't you teach me or show me how to work with this? We need to know how to work with that. So we as adults need to have that presence of mind and that consciousness of remembering so many presentations, and we're trained for it. So these are three major things you need to check. Mixed age group, is the environment right, and the adult in the environment. Yeah. So I'm going to pause here, and there was a question here around material plastic के होते हैं, कुछ material plastic के होते हैं. So I'm going to answer that question. And another question was around environment. ये outdoors नहीं है, correct? So first question around toys. We call this as materials, and when the child is working with this material, we call it a work. The child is working with the material. Many schools, wood is very expensive nowadays, correct? So what they try to do, they keep a mix of plastic and wood. That's one combination. That doesn't mean that it's not a Montessori school. It may be it's a Montessori school, but because of the budget constraint, they are keeping few things which are plastic. Now you have to see that वो plastic किस चीज में use करते हैं. Is it to teach them something like maths material? वो plastic का है, then it's not a Montessori school. But if you see that कपड़ा धोना है and the bucket is plastic, then that's not a problem. Yeah, because getting a wooden, a steel ka bucket may not be feasible for the school, so they are using a plastic bucket. That's fine.
Paromita, I would just, sorry to interrupt. I think the question was that some of the materials were still wrapped in plastic.
Wrapped in plastic. So I don't know what. Can you explain that
Plastic
question?
packaging. Revati, if you are still there, can you please just, you can ask the question directly, I think, if that would be better for the communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Debbie. Thank you so much. So the thing is, I saw the materials that were still unpacked. I mean, the plastic cling kind of wrapping was still there. It was not removed. I mean, the material is wooden, but it was still wrapped as new. The packaging was not opened. So
Got
when
it.
the child plays with those materials, they can feel the plastic wrap. They cannot feel the wood inside.
Okay, got it, got it. So then that means that school is not functional itself. So if it is wrapped in plastic, the first question comes to me that how can a child use that material, correct? So I just feel that school is not functional in a nature where their child is not allowed to use that material. So then that has
Maybe they are using it just for promotion and they're not actually giving it to the
so
kids.
there are many schools which have a room which is called a Montessori room, and
Okay.
rest they use it as a normal traditional school. So that's a fake Montessori school completely. In a Montessori school, all the materials will be open, the child will be allowed and freedom will be given for the child to use it. And also sometimes when it breaks, we have to remove the material to replace it. So everything needs to be complete. अगर छोटा सा part भी टूट जाता है, we don't keep it for the child to work with. So the child needs to see that in complete nature. So that's how Montessori works also.
Hmm.
Making sense, Revati?
Yes, Paromita.
Thank you. The next question is outdoors. In a Montessori school, many Montessorians, because they really want to increase the focus, they really focus on the work part. I've seen many Montessori schools, they do that, yeah. But there are many schools who are starting from this philosophy, who are adding a lot around art, lot around outdoor play, lot around reading. So schools have started bringing those in, correct? And they do have freedom to do that also. But when they have work time, they close the outdoors for the child to really focus in the material, yeah, and really work with that to really build their focus on that particular concept and really master it. So that's the reason they close off the outdoor play, or they don't have the outdoor play, because that's a distraction for a lot of children. That's something I've seen in many Montessori school. That doesn't mean that it's bad, because they're trying to develop the child in a very different way. But most of the schools have figured out this is not the right way, or maybe we have to add that element. So now I see that there's a lot of outdoor play also given to the child and a lot of freedom given to choose whether they want to go outdoor or indoor. And even in outdoor, they have a lot of choice, which is very child developmental for the nature and meets the need also. Maria Montessori never said that outdoors nahi hona chahiye. It's not written in any of the documentations.
I have seen in the journey that you mentioned that you take children for a little walk in the morning in the garden before starting.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. I'll talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. So that is something that there in her school, the journey. So I have seen that. And one more question, Paromita. Some Subhashini has asked, could you share more about 0 to 1? So maybe for you to note down, and if possible, then we will.
Yeah. So see, whatever I'm talking, it's for 0 to 1 also. It applies to anybody between 0 to 6. Obviously, the development need of 0 to 1 is little different from a child who is 4 years, but the concept remains the same. It doesn't change. Okay. Over there also, the environment plays a very important role. कि आप अपने घर को कैसे रखते हो? Is the child feeling safe in the house? आपके मटेरियल्स बहुत ऊंचा ऊंचा रखा हुआ है या at the height of the child? Can the child crawl and really grab those things and really work with it or play with it? You know, is the child making eye movement? You know, आँख हिला रहा है. Is there something where child can see something is moving? Because that really helps in their motor movements. Is the child able to touch and feel things? You know, lot of sensory things in the house where they're touching and feeling, like the food. How do you give or present the food to the child? So the concept of Montessori remains the same. The activities or the work which we do with the 0 to 1 changes a little bit. But I can talk more about it as we go ahead. Yeah. Any other questions? Should I go ahead?
Can you guys hear me now? Also, I wanted to highlight
Much
to the
better.
parents is that nobody stops you asking that question. I feel like you should be vocal about what you feel like. That way, even you'll know, no? Like suppose they have kept wrapped in some plastic, you'll know why they have kept it wrapped. And that is the kind of, I think, beginning of your enquiry as a parent, I believe.
Absolutely. Brilliant. I think. Always ask questions, you know. कि true Montessori क्या होता है? When you ask this question, ना, schools कभी कभी घबरा भी जाते हैं. And they may say that we are not completely Montessori, we just have a room of Montessori. So that's a very good question. You should always ask the school. I'll go ahead. So let's see examples of this and how environment, child and adult really plays an important role in how we develop a child. It applies to 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 3 to 6, all the age group. Okay. So let's see some pictures. I'll be asking you questions. What do you see in the picture? Anybody can just shout out the answers so that I can take the conversation ahead. What do you see in the picture?
At the child's level, the showcase.
Thank you so much. At the child level, what do you see the child doing?
Putting the shoes back.
Putting her shoes back in the rack. What do you feel the adult is doing at this point of time?
Waiting for the
Go ahead.
Waiting for the child to finish putting her shoes
Waiting
back.
for the child to finish. Great. Anything else? What the child you think the adult is doing?
I have in real life situation, I have seen the parent shouting, come here, I'll put it on, or I will just put it back or something like that. I have heard it, seen it many times, yeah.
Got it. Is somebody saying something?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think in general households, what even I have observed, जल्दी करो, मैं पहना देती हूँ, आपको नहीं छूना है shoes, मैं पहना देती हूँ, आप बैठ जाओ, you sit, I'll do it for you, you know, don't do this, I can do it for you. These are responses we give. Or the shoe rack is so high the child is not able to put the shoes, you know, or the shoe is so difficult to wear or remove that you need an adult intervention. These are some of the examples. In a Montessori environment, we keep everything in child's height. That's the first thing. It's clean, neat, so the child feels that I want to keep my shoes. Second, we tell our parents that they need to wear shoes which are comfortable and easy to remove by themselves. So they can remove and keep the shoes. During this entire time, we as adults are stepping back, observing the child and not interfering in the process. We have seen the child taking 30 minutes to remove their shoes also, but we are okay with it. We don't hurry the child. Jaldi karo, chalo andar. The first 30-40 minutes is very important for the child to really be at peace and feel the space. तभी जाके बच्चा कोई भी work कर पाएगा. So this is the most important time of the day when the child wakes up in the morning. How much time do you really give the child? Our school starts at 9 o'clock. There's a reason for it. The reason is that we tell parents that बच्चा 7 बजे उठना चाहिए. 7 to 8:30 the child should take to dress themselves up, eat by themselves, wear their own dress, take a bath by themselves, pack their own bags. Imagine how many skills they are developing in just 1 hour in the morning. And imagine a school which starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. बच्चा 6 बजे उठता है. My father is cooking and putting food in the mouth, and mama is putting the dress. Chalo godi mein utke mummy bag leke bhag rahi hai and bachcha godi mein hai. This is a very common thing I see in my complex. Imagine the difference. I'm not criticizing anything, but imagine what a child really needs and what is happening to the child. This age, the child says, I want to do it myself. Help me do it myself. Teach me so that I can do it myself. But what are we doing instead? हम ही सब कुछ करके दे रहे बच्चे के लिए, and the child is just feeling that, oh, I'm not capable of doing anything. That's the kind of feeling a child gets. And when they grow up, they feel that maybe I am not good enough. Let the adult only do it. So they stop thinking, they stop giving their thoughts. A lot of things starts coming into the place as we go ahead. Yeah? Any questions over here? This picture, we'll go to the next picture then.
Okay, so real me, I think I do not know the name of the person. So he or she has asked two questions. One is, whatever age groups and activities you mentioned, how did you come up? Any study of your own or research based or assumption? Is it according to Western countries' theories? So that is one part. And the second part is, it's good to know you let children wear footwear on their own. What about the hygiene part? Do you provide anything like sanitizer to clean up hands?
Great question. Thank you so much. So, a child of 0 to 6 years, it is Western country or India or whichever country, the development of the brain is very same. It is not that the concept that the child wants to do it by themselves is everywhere across the globe. That is how the brain of a child is. You ask a 2-year-old child or a 1.5-year-old child, they would like to do it by themselves. They'll open things. They're very curious. They want to explore. And slowly, as we say that, ये मत करो, वो वहाँ पे रख दो, ये मैं कर देती हूँ, बर्तन मत धो. The child feels that I may be not capable enough to do the same things. So the brain of a child is developing in a very similar way. Correct? कोई भी country में ले लो, doesn't matter. So that's why we really, in any concept, we help the child do it themselves. That's the first thing. It is, even if Maria Montessori was from Italy and she's designed this, but this concept, I've seen it in my own school, it works beautifully. And the child loves doing it by themselves and they feel so confident. And I see a child after coming to a school or any school which follows a concept like this, in 6 months, you see their confidence going up. And that's the reason why we allow the child to do it themselves.
Can I just add to this point before you move to that? But yeah.
Please.
So my son goes to a Waldorf school, and I would say, the crux of both the philosophies, there is a lot of respect for childhood. So Waldorf also talks about reverence for early childhood, and Montessori also clearly talks about that respect for children and their capabilities. So my child, he started using actual knife at the age of 3.5. And by the time he was 4.5, he could easily cut any fruits, chop things on his own with a sharp knife. He has cut his fingers multiple times, but now, there is no fear of cutting the finger. Now he's very good. And other thing is that I have also personally, I have completed Waldorf teacher training program, and my tutor said something which will never leave my consciousness, is that one person asked that what to do if a child tries to touch fire in a diya, in a lamp. So my tutor said it's better to burn the finger than burn the soul of the child. When you say no, 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 don't do that, it burns the soul. But when they once maybe they will touch and get a little burnt, it's okay. The body will heal. But the soul takes a lot of time to heal. So I would just what Paromita said, just to add to that. Maybe you can just talk about the hygiene part briefly and move on to the next. Whatever
Yeah, I
there
also
is.
want to add here, like many don't know, Maria Montessori actually spent quite a lot of time in India also.
Ah,
So,
yes, 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 yes. I know that.
you
Correct.
should highlight that one. So we also contributed. See, only thing difference is like it is being more organized. India after the independence, we didn't have that organized. We need to deal with some more important issues. So this one came and then we left up because it is a very good thing. And Google CEO Eric Schmidt, he speaks very highly of his Montessori training in his early childhood. So there are people who are very successful who speaks highly about it. So it has been put across. So if you think of like Gurukul system also, children used to go to Gurukul and they had to do this thing. Now we have not documented it, we have not created it. So now that funda of like foreign and all this comes. So I think Paramita said correctly, whoever is the in the world, child is child only. It is a British child or American child, all will go through similar kind of development stages what our Indian child goes. Thing is because of our current education system where, see, there is a subject called home science. We have not taught. I right now I teach about this, but when we are growing up, we didn't had that, and it's a very beautiful subject where it is taught in the 10th standard nowadays. So like that. So as we go along, as the requirement comes, as you understand your child more, you pick up. And right now we have so many things which are like child led. So yes, that's
Yeah,
what I want.
thank you. I think, yeah, she was in exile in India, in the South, for almost 10 to 12 years. And in India only, she has developed 6 to 12 and 12 to 24, the curriculum. So, India plays a very important and vital role in the entire development of the Montessori curriculum also. So, yeah. And the hygiene part, when the child keeps the shoes, there is a place where they wash their hands. That's why we say that they take care of themselves. So they know that after keeping shoes, they have to go and wash their hands. So that's a part of the process also. And they know they have to take care of themselves. So that's how we tackle that. Okay, like going to the next one. Lunch, dinner, snacks. What do you see in the picture? Anyone can just shout out.
Eating on their own. And is the
Eating
second
on their own.
picture cleaning up or preparing? I think preparing only.
Yeah, the child prepares their snacks,
Their
they
food,
eat by
correct.
themselves. So lunch, dinner, snacks, very important part of a child's life. Uh, in many households or in many systems, I've seen that हम खाना देते हैं और खाना खिलाते भी हैं, correct? For whatever reason. So a child can do all of these stuff from the age of 1. They can start eating by themselves. Obviously, they'll make a mess, and that's absolutely fine. They can start making their snacks or the food for their peers by the age of 1.5. They can wash their dishes, keep it in their proper place by the age of 1.7 to 2. And in our school, eating is very, very important by their own self, which we start from 1.5, because they come to us. And by the age of 2, they're so independent that they can take food by themselves, they eat by themselves, they clean their plates. There are 2, 3 children who will help in even cutting the salads for the school lunch. They'll wash the plates, they'll keep it back, and that's the entire process. You all can implement these 3 things at home very easily. There is no compulsion at all that इसको खिलाना ही है खाना, नहीं खाना खा रहे, it's okay नहीं खाना खा रहे, मतलब उसको भूख नहीं है. So we have to also understand what the child goes through. Parents feel that उसका पेट नहीं भरा. A child of 3 years or 2 years, they're capable enough to tell you that my tummy is full. So we as parents and educators need to stop and respect that. Imagine as adults हमें खाने पे खाना दिए जा रहे. Like, will you really like to eat? Or a plate which is full of food and full of options. We also get confused that खाना क्या है. So keep your lunch, dinner, snacks very simple. Don't give too many options. 2 options are fine. And actually allow the child in helping set up the entire dinner table or cooking. It's a very simple thing. In this picture, you see the child is cutting bananas for everyone as a starter snacks. Or they're going to cut salads for everyone for the starter snacks. Set a table, they'll put the mats for everyone. Fill glasses for everyone. The plates for everyone. So very simple things which shows that they're taking care of the environment, taking care of others, taking care of themselves by filling their own stomach. So this is a beautiful space which you can all do by yourself. Any questions on this picture? And all of these are at child's height. If you see all of these pictures, they are kept at child's height. Okay, let's go to the third picture. What do you see in this picture?
Chores.
Chores, yeah? Can you define a little more about it? What do you see?
So everything is again kept at the child's height. So everything like the broom, the mop, the dustbins, they are at child's height where he can reach easily. And I think the broom is also smaller, is it? Or is the same size broom? I'm not sure. But everything has been adapted to the height and size so that the child can participate easily and actually contribute. That makes a difference.
Absolutely. Very simple. Keep it at child's height. You model with a bigger jhadu how to sweep the floor. The child will beautifully do it. So all the cleaning of leaves, watering the plants, jharu lagana, pani gir gaya, cleaning that up, cleaning the vessels, everything is done by children. Washing the dirty clothes. We give the child a lot of responsibility towards taking care of the environment. So these are some of the things which you can do at home easily. And this is a process which we set at home so that the child continues developing themselves. Same thing, have a reading corner in your house at child's height. What the children will read, can at least see the pictures, and you'll see children just taking a book and flipping through the pages. And we see a lot of children coming to this corner of the school and just setting themselves up so beautifully, and they'll keep flipping the page and seeing pictures. So how do you set up these spaces at home? So these were some of the examples. Any questions so far? I will just pause
Yeah,
and
there is a
take some
Gayatri.
questions.
Gayatri is asking if the child spills or throws or doesn't wash the plate properly, what to do?
Gayatri. Gayatri, what do you think? How old is your child? Gayatri?
My kid is 4.3, but I'm asking in general if we are not supposed to correct them, right?
Absolutely, Gayatri. Thank you so much for giving the answer yourself. A child cleans, okay? They're developing themselves and they keep it. And you see कि गंदा रह गया है. होता है. Even my child washes it outside में soap रहता है. So One is how do you demonstrate in the first row, how do you clean it? एक बार दो बार you can demonstrate. And then you move aside and observe the child, how they are cleaning it. Let the child keep the plate and you see कि गंदा रह गया है. Okay? Don't correct the child. Let the child go and you can clean it in the absence of the child. Don't show the child that आपने गलत किया है. Child knows कि ये होना नहीं चाहिए, but over the period of time, the child will get to that space and the corrections. But don't correct the child at that very moment. That's my recommendation. You can clean it in the absence of the child. After 15, 16 days, you see the child is doing the same thing again and again. Then gently nudge, say, whatever the name is, say, I'm giving my son some Rahil. I see that there's a bit of soap here. Can we clean it this way? That's it. That's a gentle nudge we give a child. After doing continuous observations, not immediate corrections. Is that okay, Gayatri? Is that answering your question?
Great, it really helps. Yeah.
Any other questions? Then I'll go to the next part. I have 10 minutes. I know Montessori I can go on that, but it's so much
Yeah,
to
I know that.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. So a role of adult and role of the environment is very important. I've spoken about all of these stuff. As an adult, I think observe the child, follow the child, lead by example. What you want the child to do, वो करके दिखाओ बच्चे को. We tell child कि बर्तन धो के रखो, but we as adults keep the burtan just like that. So that's not going to work at all because they really look up to us. They want to become the adult we are. Avoid offering everything they ask for. Not going to help. It's another topic in itself. Regulate your own emotions. Sometimes you're very angry and we're operating with the child. No use. Go slow. The more you go slow, you will see the child is observing your hands. Less words. Jitna kam bol sakte ho, utna kam bolo. Work with your hands. So for example, I want to show how to wash a plate. Rahil, look. You wash it and show. Don't say कि बर्तन लो, soap लो, इसको ऐसे करो. Not required at all. Encourage learning through hands and senses, as you already know. An environment child-sized shelf. You saw the pictures. Tools and materials at the child's reach. Safe space for exploration. It should be safe. It should not be dangerous for the child. So these are something you should remember. What is something you do every day that a child could also do if given a chance? It's a very interesting question. I would love to hear all the responses in the chat. What is something you do every day that a child could also do if given a chance? Put down all the things you feel. And Deblina, you can share those responses with me.
Yeah, waiting. No responses. Mehak says shopping, cleaning, folding clothes, many others.
Okay. Others?
Watering the plants from my side.
Okay. So I'll just go to this. Practical life activities, Care for self. Anything to do with care for self. Dressing up themselves, washing their own clothes, combing their hair, making food for themselves, buttoning, unbuttoning their own pants and shirt. Anything to do there by themselves, they can do it. By the age of 3, they should be completely independent. Care for environment. Watering the plants, washing their plates, cleaning the room, cleaning the leaves of the room, grooming, everything they can do. Grace and courtesy comes at the age of 4, where they learn to say sorry, thank you, greet them, people with respect. So that's, again, you can start doing it. Moving objects, moving a table from here to there, moving a chair, moving a cupboard, small cupboard of themselves, they can do. Anything with food preparation, they are capable of doing it very well. With a knife, with tweezers, with peelers, they are very capable of doing it. So these are 5 areas. There are many examples of these, which I am going to share with you on the chat, which you can definitely do with your children at home. Yeah. And you can see that list I'm going to share on the team, and I'll tell you the book from where I've got it, so that you can use it at home and it can become a part and parcel of your life. If you see this picture, cleaning your own space, washing your hands, toileting, peeling, eating, everything you can do, they can do by the age of 3. They are all 1.5 and 2 in this picture. The second thing which you can do at home is sensory work. In Montessori, there are a lot of sensory work which we have in display. You may not be able to replicate the same thing at home, but what we do in school is that we take children for nature walk. Every once a week we take them out and we are in the nature for 2 hours. Understanding the mud, understanding leaves, working with them. We have a vegetable garden of our own. Children, pluck methi and make methi paratha. So whenever there is a bird around or something around, we actually sit and observe that for a long period of time. We are not in a rush to, just complete something. There's nothing to complete. So we really work a lot on sensory things, the touch, the feel, a lot around that. And with language, which you can do very easily at home, is reading a lot of books to children, developmentally appropriate books. Give them not more than 4 new words in a day. They will not remember. It's not possible. So just give them 4 new words if you're introducing something, and something around them. Like take them to the door and say, this is a door. This is a window. This is a curtain, And then ask them, if required, after 3, what is this you think? If they're not able to respond, don't say, abhi to bataya tha. Say, it's a curtain. Yeah. So simple activities like this, you can do at home very, very easily. In a Montessori environment, we have a lot of material to develop that. So which you may not have at home. That's absolutely fine. But simple storytelling can really create wonders in the house. And I know many philosophy, they don't encourage storytelling at home, or they have particular kind of storytelling. In Montessori, we say we use real world stories which children can connect with. And I think all the philosophy has their own logic. So we believe that and we follow that. In arithmetic also, we have a very different way of working with children with numbers. But again, these materials you cannot buy all the materials for the child at home. So I think simple things with Rajma, Chole, you can do a lot of arithmetic with them at home also. Yeah. So the 3 areas or the 4 areas which you can definitely do is language, practical life activity, and sensorial. Go for nature walks with children. I take my child for nature walk every Sunday. You'll see a difference in the child as they go for nature walk. They start appreciating the nature as a whole, And these are some book recommendations which I have for you. Amazing books. Simone is the writer of the book, herself a Montessorian. So it's called The Montessori Baby, Montessori Toddler, and The Montessori Child. And these 3 books have really helped us to develop our school also. So if you really want to understand Montessori, I think these are a very easy book. Because jo Maurya Montessori ne books likha hai na, they are a little heavy on words. And sometimes we lose the essence because of the heavy word. So it'll be good that we stay away from those books. If you're an initial starter, start with these books. Once you understand the concepts, you can take up those books. That's my recommendation. Yeah. So one thing which I would love to end with is, do not tell them how to do it. Show them how to do it and do not say a word. If you tell them, they will watch your lips more. If you show them, they will want to do it themselves. So it's a beautiful code which we follow in our school every single day. Less words, more work with the child, show them how to do it, and they really do it beautifully by themselves. Yeah, so I'm going to stop and take some questions if you have any. I know last 1 minute, but anybody has a question.
Can you go back to that list of questions which you showed in the beginning? Just
Yeah,
wanted.
sure. So I think, how do you know it's a Montessori school? I think I've told you. It's the adult, the Montessori, and it's a material and the mixed age group. Is Montessori only about independence? Taking care of themselves build independence and responsibility. Taking care of others and the world talks about empathy and how we work with others in a community, Is Montessori only for early childhood? Again, I've touched upon that. There are schools which runs from 6 to 12 and 12 to 18 also. Which exam my child will take if they go to a Montessori school? Montessori is a philosophy. So a school following Montessori philosophy can go to a CBSE exam or a IGCSE exam or a IB examination. It depends on the school which board they choose for the examination, even though they follow Montessori philosophy. Will my child be lagging behind in academics? As I said, language and arithmetic, they'll be far ahead of everyone also, because they learn with their hands and senses. So some child may learn writing at the age of 4 also if they are inclined towards it. And it may also get delayed by to 5.5 also. So we work at the pace of the child, not that what we want to complete. If we give so much freedom to a child, will it not be destructive in nature? We give freedom with limits. Here, freedom means that they take responsibility of their own work. So there is no syllabus for the child. So the child comes, chooses their own work. There's a freedom to speech. They can talk to us whenever they want. They can move around. They may sleep. They may eat at any point of time. There's a lot of freedom given. But the moment they are destructive to the environment, to others and themselves, we have to stop them. Yeah. So these are some of the questions I had.
Thank
You
you.
have
I
any
think
other questions, Evelina?
no. I thought that some questions I still had, some questions were not touched upon, but yeah, this just answers everything. Particularly, will my child be lagging behind? Because that is something even in Waldorf also people have a lot of, you
Yeah.
know, worry that, will they be lagging behind? So just wanted to.
If you're going to a Montessori school, do ask them, show me how do you teach language. They will show you beautifully. If they're not able to show it, that means that's not a Montessori school. So when they,
I would also say if someone is like they really want to check if it's a Montessori school, they should take those presentations. Like they can ask them how do you teach division, or like what you showed me, how do you teach multiplication? So then they will come to know the presentation is very different, and it's I mean, you will know in an instant whether it's they actually know it or they don't. Just having the materials does not ensure it's a Montessori school. And on the top of it, please know that Montessori name is used in anything these days. That is something very sad. Like, as I said, that I have seen toys, Montessori and all these philosophies, they will not talk about any particular toy. There's a certain brand, I don't want to name it, but they're selling Montessori busy boards. Montessori is nothing about keeping children busy by, robotic sounds and some kind of, what do I say, like activities which will make the children glued onto it artificially. So people do not have an idea, and they end up falling for these marketing gimmicks that is there. So it's very important that we understand, and that's one of the objectives from my side, to help people actually go beneath that marketing message and understand what is it exactly. So yeah, thank you. I think this was I learned a lot. I think even others also
I
learned
think
a
there's
lot.
a question also on what is the kind of focus on child's emotion, Devti. Even, how do we work on emotion when the child is 2 years or 1.5 years, they're not able to see themselves separate from the parents. By the age of 2, they start looking at themselves as a separate individual. Okay. If a child comes at 1.5, we work with the parent and the child. There's a very strong settling period. The parent has to come with the child in this environment for at least 15 days. And when we see that the child is physically comfortable with the environment and feeling safe, that's the time we take over and work with the child. We also do a lot of home visits. In a year, with the new child, we do 5 to 6 home visits to really show them that we know your parents. The parents know us. We are safe people. And over the period of time, I've seen the children actually seamlessly blend into the environment. That's one. The second is that when the child comes, we give a lot of time for the child to settle in. There are child who comes crying, there are child who comes, very sad. We really help them talk. There's an area in our school where they sit and they tell us stories about what happened at home. They'll say, "Mama ne मारा मम्मा ने मुझे खाना नहीं दिया." बहुत सारी चीजें होती है. The child is very happy also. We have to regulate that also. So we spend a lot of time in the morning, almost 30 to 40 minutes, just being with the emotions. Even we as adults come with a lot of emotions. So it's very beautiful space in the morning. Everybody is doing their own stuff, but yet we are able to regulate ourselves. Even during the work time, if a child doesn't want to work because of any reason, we never push a child ki aaj kaam karo. Never. The child can sit with the material and gaze at the sky, and that's absolutely fine. The child wants to sleep, they can go and sleep. So we actually respect all the emotion a child has during the day also. So that's how we work with the emotion part. Nifty, I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, Paramita. Thank you so much. And also, I wanted to add one more question about what Deblina was talking about the materials. So even I have seen a lot of brands also. Those are selling Montessori toys, which are not really Montessori authentic. So what should we really look when we try to choose a Montessori based toy? Or is it not advisable to have Montessori authentic toys at home if we are sending our child to a Montessori school?
So I discussed in the session also, if you really want to bring in Montessori philosophy at home,
Mhm.
do very simple stuff. Kitchen, you have kitchen stuff.
Okay.
Just allow the child to make something for themselves or for the family, like cutting off cucumber. If you are still scared of giving the actual knife, बहुत parents को होता है anxiety, you will really get few good knives for children with the same sharpness.
Okay.
And they really help the child cut. Engage a child in the home activities,
Mhm.
like cooking. Very important, real stuff, though unko, they love it. Washing clothes with you, washing plates, serving food, serving water. Can you give me a glass of water, Rahel? That's something. Help the child keep their shoes in their rack by themselves. Water the plants, clean the leaves, plant a seed, uh, fold your own clothes, hang your own clothes, wash your own clothes, dress yourself up. So basically, you don't need to buy anything in the world if you really want to follow Montessori philosophy. There is nothing created in the world which can replace what you already have at home.
Right.
Just make sure you have two things. Things are kept in order, a few things, but kept in
Mhm.
order, and you follow the same rhythm every single day. Don't disturb the rhythm. आज आपने झाड़ू लगाया, कल नहीं मैं लगा देती हूँ. Do it every day. With few children, they get it very fast. Few children, it takes a constant reminder sometimes, and that's absolutely fine. So you
Okay.
don't need to buy anything to do Montessori at home. Whatever you have, you can do it with that.
Okay. In this perspective, I actually have a couple questions if I am not taking much time.
Please share, please share.
Yeah, so I used to encourage my child to eat independently, and when we go out for walks, I always let him walk by holding the hands, or like if it's completely safe, I just let him walk. But nowadays, I'm noticing that he is preferring me to feed him, and when we go on the streets, he even if we hold hands, he doesn't want to walk. He wants us to carry him. He's 2.5. So how can I slowly encourage him to become more independent in eating or on the streets?
So if the child already used to do it and abhi nahi kar raha hai for any
Yes.
reason,
Yes.
it can be a phase
Actually,
of a child.
I
Okay.
am thinking the reason might be because we visited our parents, and since then there is a lot of changes in a few things like this.
So you already have given the answers yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll see that when the child is visiting somebody's house, grandparents' house, and they're coming back, you'll see a difference in their behavior and the pattern of eating and talking. So my child went to my in-laws' place, and there are many children, and he started hitting everyone. It took me almost
Okay.
2 months to bring that back to normal because
Mm-hmm.
children do learn. They have an absorbent mind, as we spoke about, correct?
Yes.
They
Yes.
absorb everything they see. So as parents, we need to be really, really vigilant sometimes to understand these small signals. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that don't get worried about that at all. It may be a phase, and you have answered yourself that kahin se aaya hai, isliye hua hai. Give it time, and then you will see a difference in the child.
Okay.
Just tell that we will walk. We will
Mm-hmm.
walk. I cannot take you in my lap. If the child is insisting and crying, we will stay at home. It's okay to play at home. We will not go down. You can have firm boundaries. The child knows that mama godi nahi legi. Kuch bhi ho jaye. You keep your borderline very clear. That's important.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've sent a link. I think that's opening. That's a PDF of all the activities you can do at home.
Okay, that will be very much helpful.
Yeah. And if you still need, you can tell Deblina, I can share some more. You can buy these books called the Montessori Toddler. It has all of these in depth.
Paromita,
Right.
will you be able to share this presentation? We can have it like we have a common drive. We will just have this over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be
Absolutely.
thank you so much. So I think, are we done with all the questions? Yeah.
Just one small question.
Yeah. Please, please.
If I want to, is there any place to buy some of the maths material, Montessori
Yeah.
maths material? Is there
Yeah, you do
any
have.
source?
You do have. We buy maths material from KidKen. It's in Bangalore. But there are many places in Pune. There's one place in Pune where you get the maths material. I can share the address with Deblina. If you are in touch with Deblina, can you please pass on that address? That lady was a Montessorian.
Ma'am, please send the Bangalore one. No, I live in Bangalore.
Oh, okay, KidKen. Go to KidKen. Naveen is the person there. You can give my reference. We got all our materials from there. He has a showcase of material also in his environment. You can go and choose also.
Ma'am, can you type in the chat box so that I know what it spells? KidKen.
There are many kiddo. There are many,
Thank you.
many. But KidKen is the place I have bought from, so I know it. I can tell you for sure that the materials are good. I don't know anything in Chandigarh, but KidKen transports it to every place. So you can just contact Naveen. He will transport it and with many minimal charges. So
Yeah. KidKen has their online portal only. You can place an order on KidKen. They have.
yeah.
You just go to you search KidKen Montessori, and you can just find it.
I would like to touch upon, I think, one of the questions asked with the homeschooling.
I cannot hear you.
I wanted to touch upon the homeschooling. There is a question said about homeschooling. So it is your home. You decide how to do that. And I think what Paramita beautifully shared, even in our previous meeting also, we are sharing the framework. So you understand the framework, adjust it to according to your level, and resources and the materials is all available. Right now, we actually have, there is no dearth of materials. And in our homeschooling group, we keep on sharing, we keep on have this, like even Devolina's community also, she's keep on sharing this. So please reach out any of us. Paromita is there. Reach out any of us. We'll be very happy to support you. But ask questions. So then it will be easier for us to understand and support all of you.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think we are well past our time. It was anyone, one more. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Paromita. Thank you, Rishikesh. Honestly, this is a collaborative effort, and it's something that I could not have done it alone. So thanks for all your time. Both of you have come together really strong to support this initiative. So thank you, both of you. And I think to the others, I would like to say that this is, we are doing this because we want to build some awareness, and we want you to take better decisions for your child and for yourself, because these early years, they matter a lot. They matter so much. We do not, I do not know if we understand it enough how much it matters. So awareness always helps. And again, I think I do not have much to say from my side. We will meet each other again. I'm planning my next session on Waldorf so that we can kind of close this thing that we have started with the way of educating a child. And if you have any doubts or questions, you can always add in the group. We will try to the best of our abilities to answer them. And yes, wish you all a very happy weekend.
Thank you so much. Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Parmita. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye, Rishikesh. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.